Well, damn, man. It can't be a Raiders offseason without any type of drama, man. If you guys don't already know, man, some breaking news came out about an hour or two ago from me shooting this video. I actually woke up from a nap to this news, and I'm like, what the frick? It seems like the Raiders have finally parted ways with defensive tackle Christian Wilkins. And a surprising, well, I guess it's not that surprising, especially following this team throughout the whole offseason. Christian Wilkins has not been with the team. I know he kind of showed up here and there, but really hasn't practiced with the team, and I'm pretty sure that the Raiders were frustrated with the whole situation. But with that being said, though, Adam Schefter broke the news tweeting that the Raiders are releasing defensive tackle Christian Wilkins with a designation of terminated vested veteran. His time with the Las Vegas Raiders is now over. Due to how Wilkins treated the rehab of his foot injury he suffered last season, the Raiders voided the remaining $35.2 million of guaranteed money left on Wilkins' contract last month, and today Wilkins filed a grievance with the NFLPA. With the Raiders voiding the remaining $35.2 million of guaranteed money left on Christian Wilkins' contract last month, and Wilkins filing a grievance with the NFLPA today, this is a situation that is far from over. The Raiders would also release a statement, and let's just say they didn't really hold back, saying, "We have decided that it is in our best interest of the organization to move on from Christian Wilkins, and he has been informed of his release from the team. This franchise has a commitment to excellence on and off the field, with no clear path or plan for future return to play from Christian. This transaction is necessary for the entire organization to move forward and prepare for the new season." Now, after reading all of that and seeing everything that just happened in the last couple of hours, this is some crazy news. And like I said earlier, it seems like the Raiders have been frustrated with Christian Wilkins, especially with his rehab situation. Like stated, it seems like the Raiders really wanted Christian Wilkins to get a surgery on his foot, the injury that he had last October going into the season, but it seems like Christian Wilkins didn't want to get that. A lot of back and forth going on, and at the end of the day, I don't think the Raiders just wanted to deal with that whole situation at all, and it gave the Raiders a reason to void his contract, which could free up a lot of money for the team. Of course, Christian Wilkins is not going to back down without any fight, but at the end of the day, I don't think that he's going to come out of this on top. I don't think the Raiders make this type of move and make this type of statement if they didn't have any type of evidence backing their whole statement. Now, this comes just a year after signing a huge contract with the Raiders, a 5-year, $110 million deal. And for us Raider fans, we all thought that Christian Wilkins was going to be that guy. He's going to be that piece that we need on the defensive line. We haven't had a defensive tackle with his stature, with his resume on this team, especially alongside of Max Crosby. Of course, we had a lot of high hopes for him to come out and do great things, but just a year after signing with the team, we go in this direction, and I totally understand it because Pete Carroll seems like he's kind of fed up with the whole situation as well. I mean, Pete Carroll wasn't here when we brought in Christian Wilkins, so he doesn't really have any ties to him, but I'm pretty sure that they try to work things out with him. I do feel like him getting the surgery would have put him out for mostly the whole entire year, which he probably didn't want to happen, but the whole offseason has just seemed like a back and forth thing. He was in his walking boot. He's at OTAs. He's back in a walking boot. He's out here, singing and just looking good, vibing, dancing without a walking boot. I mean, this comes 3 days after that video surfaced where Alex Bachman recorded him just having a good time. We talked about it, and I thought this was going to be some good news for the Raiders because he would be ready to go week 1, but it seems like the Raiders might have thought the other way around. And ironically, just yesterday, Pete Carroll talked about it in his press conference. He addressed the whole Christian Wilkins situation because, I mean, this is the main thing the media and us fans have been wondering. What is the deal with Christian Wilkins? Is he going to be ready to go? Is he not going to be ready to go? Pete Carroll earlier in the week said that he was still uncertain on the whole situation. And just yesterday, he said that we still have to sort things out. And I guess they sorted things out because they let his ass go.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
Now, I wouldn't say that this is going to be a huge blow to the team because we didn't really have Christian Wilkins majority of the season last year. He only played in 5 games, and he's going to end his career as a Las Vegas Raider only playing 5 games with the team. I mean, he hella fleeced the Raiders, but it seems like the Raiders trying to bounce back and try to take back the money that they gave him. But in those 5 games that he played with the Raiders, he had a total of 17 tackles and 2 sacks. Not really worth the money that we did pay him. But if the Raiders do end up getting their money back, then I guess this isn't really that big of a deal. It just sucks because we all had high expectations for Christian Wilkins, and I kind of feel bad for a guy like Max Crosby who has always had to deal with different type of stars to come in and out. I mean, we had Yannick Ngakoue, who I believe has been the best partner with Max Crosby on the defensive line. We just traded him away for Chandler Jones. We know what happened there. Then we go out and get Christian Wilkins, who we all believe like, oh shoot, this defensive line is going to be crazy. And just a year later, we cut him because he just is not ready to go. I know we don't know a lot of the things that have been going on behind the scenes. I know that they have a good relationship, and I know that Christian Wilkins has a good relationship with a lot of the defensive linemen on the team right now. But with his absence, it's going to give a lot of these other young players a huge opportunity to step up and show out, especially on the defensive line. Now, Tyree Wilson is a guy that we're all going to be looking at to possibly step in and hopefully break out on the interior of the defensive line. Then we got Adam Butler, who we re-signed this offseason, which I think is a huge move for the Raiders, especially knowing that Christian Wilkins is not good to go. Adam Butler was one of those guys that stepped up last year and had a great season with the Raiders alongside of Max Crosby. He put in a lot of work, as much work that we all expected Christian Wilkins to put in when he signed with the team. Adam Butler last year had a breakout season, playing in 17 total games with 65 total tackles, 8 tackles for loss, 10 quarterback hits, 2 pass deflections, 1 forced fumble, and 5 sacks. Another player that really stepped up last year that I was excited about was Jonah Laulu. When Christian Wilkins went down, this gave Jonah a huge opportunity to step up and show out in his first season, having played in 17 total games as well, with 35 total tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 2 quarterback hits, 3 pass deflections, and a sack. Now, I know looking at this whole situation, the breaking news and whatnot, it does suck, especially as a Raider fan, because like I said, we expected a lot more out of Christian Wilkins, but I wouldn't be too worried about it. When you take time to really look at it, we got solid guys. Like I said, Jonah Laulu, Adam Butler, Tyree Wilson. Those are 3 guys that I'm really going to keep my eye on moving forward, and those are 3 guys that could definitely step up. Now, we did bring in some rookies in JJ Pegues and Tonka Hemingway that could possibly step in and make the most out of their situation. But overall, with the extra money that the Raiders do save on this move, there's a lot of other options out there that we could bring in to possibly help solidify the defensive line. Now, of course, one name that a lot of Raider fans are going to be, chomping at the bits for is Trey Hendrickson. We know the whole situation going on with him and the Cincinnati Bengals. Maybe the Raiders could make a huge trade and bring him over here with the extra money that they do have, but I find that highly unrealistic. But if we were to bring him in, oh my goodness. Then again, I don't want to put all my eggs in a basket for another big name that could possibly not pan out for this team. I mean, this happened to us multiple times. So if you look into free agency, there's some other defensive tackles that the Raiders could bring in for some depth and some veteran leadership as well. Jadeveon Clowney is a big name that could possibly help out this team. You look at a guy like Raekwon Davis, another free agent, but one name that I feel like would be a more realistic option for the Raiders to bring in and possibly step up or at least add some depth is a guy that's already played under Pete Carroll and has already been a Raider before, Quentin Jefferson. Now, he recently did have a workout with the Raiders, so we could possibly expect a signing sometime soon after this news broke out. Now, Jefferson was a key piece for the Seattle defensive line when he was with Pete Carroll. He bounced around in the league and had a solid stint over here in Las Vegas. I think that he would be a perfect fit over here in Las Vegas, not expecting too much out of him, but as far as a veteran defensive lineman that we could bring in and at least have some depth on this roster, Quentin Jefferson might be the way to go. I just hope that at the end of the day, Christian Wilkins is still going to try to go to another team. I just hope that he doesn't stay in the AFC West. That's all. Whatever happens to him, it is what it is. We just got to move on. We just got to write this down as another failed star that came to the Las Vegas Raiders. Overall, my initial thoughts on this is, yes, it sucks. This move sucks. The Raiders just have to deal with this. We just have to deal with this whole situation, but I'm just not too worried about the defensive line. I've seen what they did last year with other players that stepped up in a huge way, but this year is going to be a huge year for Tyree Wilson, Jonah Laulu, Adam Butler on this roster. Those are going to be the 3 players that are going to get a huge bump in their playtime. And as long as we have Max Crosby on this team and as long as Malcolm Kuntz is good to go, I think that the defensive line should still be okay. But Raider Nation, let me know your thoughts on this whole situation. It sucks that the Raiders always have to deal with stuff like this. But again, let me know how you guys feel down in the comments below. Until the next video, this your boy Small Raider and your boys. Yeah.